Okay. My peoples. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspired by dreams. Shop. We got a lot of new drops in there, you guys. Plus, we got a dope new jacket in there. It's only one color for right now, but then, give it a few and we're gonna have a couple other multicolored joints coming in. Okay, so what is it? It's Friday. Feeling good. There's a lot going on in these YouTube streets as well as our community, and I just want to bring it to you today. And let me see what I want to give you a little story. Yesterday, I seen a lot of things going around. One of the things that caught my eye, I did not know what was going on as far as Jim Jones. I guess he went to the Breakfast Club. Now I seen a lot of people talking on Jimmy and I guess his album and things like that, and it related back to the Breakfast Club. So I went back to the Breakfast Club and I watched this video of this interview of Jim Jones speaking on just everything, mostly on his album, and a few points that I want to touch when it came down to that interview that was a little weird, and I don't know. The first thing I wanted to talk about when it came down to the interview was it feels like in these times. This is one of the reasons why this is kind of like, it felt a little like a Vladish question, like, because sometimes when people are like, when it comes down to Vlad TV and the way he questions certain people, it kind of like gives them, it puts them in a position where it can go bad after the interview is over. And it was kind of like one of those type of situations. I see a lot of people talking about, it came down to when Jim said he wanted a box camera on face. Yes, we did hear all of this. He said he wanted to box the guy for $10 million or whatever. And I hear a lot of people talking about, they're friends. That's just not this, just not that. You are the same people that's lost in your everyday life, not knowing when they might not be friends, you guys. How many times you want to put these thoughts in your head? These guys are not friends. So when it comes down to a situation like this, and it gets to the point of, it's gonna boil down to fists, or they're not even mess with each other off top, it's kind of crazy to me. I mean, and another thing I wanted to touch in that interview, I did say this before, so I did listen to Jim Jones' album. I would say out of 1 out of 10, I would give it like a 7, 8. And Jim, he puts together great music, I should say. He puts together great music. But one of the things that I told you before, and he actually spoke on it on the Breakfast Club that people were skipping over. When I first heard that track, it was saying the sample was different, and it was from an up and coming artist, which now we are learning that turned out to be Mos Def's daughter. And in between the interview, Jim says, their lawyer called him because it's one thing about Jim said, he out here, don't put it on all of us. Out here we remix and things like that. But that wasn't really a remix way to go about it, because not only was it you changed the way she patterned her song from Problems and you turned it into Harlem. And then I thought, see, I didn't know what was going on with the whole song. I just know I heard two versions of it. I heard one on the radio, which was, I believe, had a few features on it. I believe it was Big Sean or something like that. And then I heard Jimmy's version of Harlem. But this is what happens. Like I always tell you guys, I wanted to talk about this first. Just the remix of the remix of the remix. You can't really, because it takes down the up and coming artist buzz when you switch it up without even, and then you go your way and put it on the album, and then, it was just confusing. It was just definitely confusing with that. So, he said that their lawyers had called them up and things like that. I just feel like, the Problem song was more national. It could go national, whereas a Harlem song would just be regional. And I just felt like that was kind of weird. I knew I did hear another version of that song. I just knew I heard that before, and I see what happened. He like switched it around and tried to make it his song. Another thing that was said in that interview that I just totally, everything was just, the interview was just a weird interview. For some reason, Jim Jones, he did a lot of interviews every other place, different places, but when it came down to the Breakfast Club, I didn't even know they were still interviewing artists. But when it came down to the Breakfast Club, it kind of went weird. Like even when he said, you know, like he'll do verses with Styles P. I'm like, Styles P? Jim, you're not better than Styles P on an off day. And when it comes down to Dipset and the Locks, look, let me tell everybody that knows hip hop, the Locks never lost a battle. They never lost a battle. So you can't let that go over your head and just start thinking because Dipset made music or dope mixtapes. And no, you're not. It's not amounting up to the Locks. And when you pick Styles P, look at the Locks like this. It's almost like saying you have to fight between these three dogs: a red-nosed pit bull, a pit bull mastiff, and a Rottweiler. You're gonna lose every fight. It didn't matter. See the magic in the verses. It didn't matter if the Dipset they practiced for 2 years before it. When they came on that stage to battle the Locks, they were gonna lose regardless. And that's just my take on it. And I know the rest of you, Styles P, man, salute to the Locks. I've never seen the Locks lose a battle in hip hop. You guys look it up. Every single entire battle, it's never went. Look, I think that was a little too far off as when the measurements of how this versus thing goes. I'm not sure how it goes because I don't know if they still have that versus thing going on. I haven't tuned in a while with the verses for a while now. And just putting them to, I guess you have to start making sure that the people that, they have to be at least, you know, like how boxers go in and the weight has to match. It has to be like that. But when you're picking Styles P, you're doomed. You're not beating Styles P on the microphone. And it doesn't matter, and that's why I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter how much views or how many songs you feel like hit the radio. That does not matter when it comes down to hip hop. When it comes down to hip hop, it's all starts with the pen and what you have up here. And from what Styles P up until this point, there's no way. I don't know where that came from. Maybe it slipped out just because the heat of the moment or something like that. But everybody knows, no, there's no way the Dipset was going to match up with the Locks. The Locks? Are you serious? Locks was with that's with Biggie Smalls was like, no, nah. I didn't even get it. Salute. We got big talk this morning. Yeah, man, a lot of things going on in these YouTube streets, man. A lot of people is getting it all twisted. I don't know, but when it comes down to the Jomo album, it does have a great sound to it, and it does have dope music on it. But, you know, it's a lot of things. You know, a lot of people in our time coming up, there's a difference between a mixtape album, there's a difference between like a full constructed album. Usually mixtape albums, you can get away with a lot of like taking from other things or remix of the remix or just doing beats over and things like that. That's a mixtape album. You can go far with that, but when it comes down to an album, it has to be structured. Most likely, everything around it, it can't be in that type of format. You know, everything has to me, everything should be original and everything should be, you know, covered, the producers covered on their pay, and everything should be, you know, well surrounded around the album. But mixtape albums are a little bit different. I see, you know, after a while out here in New York, people started taking things a little too far. Like, you know, I remember when, you know, it's one thing about, you know, like if somebody, it's like the Weird Al Yankovic stuff that people start falling into and thinking that, you know, you're doing over somebody's song and they say A, you say B. But in these times, we need a different type of energy. The youth has to know that coming from the original and building that, let other people remix your originality. And that's one of the things I always speak about when it comes to hip hop. You could just tell that, you know, when it's like that, trust me, we are in the state of hip hop right now is very shaky. There's a lot of people that, you know, we don't know a lot of these people that's just jumping on the mic. And some of these people, they're not really caring too much about the culture, more just about the money. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to say that, but never, ever, ever say Locks. We already seen the display on the verses. We already knew that. A lot of us already knew that the Locks were going to win before they got on that stage. And if you're a hip, everybody knew. I mean, come on, man. One of their toughest battles, they've still came out on top. Another thing I wanted to talk about too, I see that Diddy's mom, now she's being sued and things like that. But then we hear in the past when it came down to this whole Diddy situation, we heard from a few artists, like I believe it was Chopper, also Freddie P. They also said that, you know, Diddy's mom, she has a lot to do and a lot of ownership of people's publishing and things like that. She was working with Diddy, you know, doing what they had to do to hold people's money. So seeing that she's getting sued at this point, it doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't surprise me at all, you know. So I see that's going down, and I also seen that Diddy, he's going through some things too. Well, Diddy's been going through some things, but I'm saying there's more allegations and things added on to his case, and I feel like the more they add on, the more it's going to be very risky. But it seems like they have enough information, man. It's you have to wait till the court case, you guys. Wait till the case comes out, or at least at the beginning of the fight, and we'll see what they have they're ready to put on the table. But it doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good. It doesn't look like it's going to be one of these young thug cases where, you know, it gets thrown out or something like that, because then in turn he could turn around and sue everybody and things like that. So it's really looking bad when it comes down to that. And another thing, shouts out to Mos Def, his daughter. I have to get, because I didn't even, when I heard it, I remember driving, I heard it playing over the radio, that Problem song. You know, this is the point where you have to sit down and get more interviews and try to get your face out there more, because people will only think of just the Harlem song, and your song will get lost in the mix. Hip hop has a way, man. We got to do better for each other. I just put a video out. I want you guys to really check it out after this is all over. And it's just a take on, should, you know, hip hop or just a Black American culture have some gatekeepers to it, because sometimes gatekeepers are a benefit to the culture. Just having a filter on the people that's coming and just feel like they can do whatever with it. So I want you guys to check it out, and I want your opinions on that video that I dropped. And I also have a surprise video dropping later on. We'll get to that later on. But yeah, man, I just felt like with all that's going on in hip hop, look, it's if you want to save the culture, you're not going to be able to save your pockets at the same time. I see a lot of greed intentions, and it's all spilling over, and it's being put out in the forefront, man. You gotta look, listen. In this game, people pick up this. That's the reason why I wanted to get into this whole gatekeeper talk. People feel like when they make it to a certain point, if they have been hurt along their way, they want to treat the next person coming up, whether the youth coming up trying to do the music too, they want to treat them in a way where they have to go through the same hardships that they went through to get to wherever. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Usually that's a greedy-minded person. You're supposed to, all the information you learned up to that point, you're supposed to tell the next person so they don't have to go through that and get there. And a lot of times we see this happening, and yeah, you know, of course they want to show you, I help this person, that person, this person, but not really. It's the people that you're taking. This is what gatekeep. This is the sad thing about our culture. We steal from each other and then expect when something goes wrong that we all have to stand for that person. When no, if you hurt your own, how could you earn that type of respect for people to march with you? So now we reach to this point where we need help, but we don't know who to trust. You know the reason why we don't know who to trust? Because we've been hurting us for so long. You can't expect somebody else's culture not to try to come in and make money off of the things that you created if the things that you created are not valued within your community. When are we going to wake up and understand that? Are we just going to sit here like Dumbos and say the money, money, money until it runs out? Because it will run out. With the lack of education, the lack of the financial advisors and the people that really trust in you, that money is going to run out. It's going to disappear like a magician trick. So after that's over, now you expect the same people that you belittle to help you and put something forward. Didn't you realize that those people needed help too? Yeah, they paid for your concert ticket. Why didn't you support their little brand that they had trying to build on it when they sent you to your DM? You see, it's one hand wash the other. It's a greedy mindset when you do it to your own people and then expect other people not to come in and treat you a certain way or treat you with respect. Come on now, don't you see what's going on? With all these inflations and prices, you mean to tell me that people are still trying to throw high prices at their own people? I could understand them other people throwing us high prices. That is up to us to choose whether we want to buy it or not, but it be our own people that's trying to do all the nonsense behind the scenes that makes it that much harder. So wake up, you guys. This is way deeper than just music. It's way deeper than just music. See, they use the people, the music, and the artists to promote the nonsense because they know at any point, given point, all of those people could be bought. I would say most of those people, not all of them. And the reason why it's not all of them, because some of them reach heights already that they're comfortable with. But for the people that had something and lost something, you'll be surprised. They'll do anything for the money. Anything. Don't let nobody fool you. There's nothing scary about them. The only thing that's scary is when you can't see what's next to come. That's what's scary. So you got to watch out for these types of people. And it's a shame because a lot of their success is built off of hurting their own people. And they try to take a blind eye to it like they don't know, oh, how did that hurt? Yeah, you know how it hurt them. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out, man. I'm hearing that another thing, Cardi B, I guess she won the lawsuit and they settled at 1.2 million with Tasha K. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to settle out. You know, Tasha K is a content creator. She said a few things that was disrespectful towards Cardi, which turned out not to be true, and it ends up to be a $1.2 million defamation because it had medical things in there that, you know, it's certain things you don't touch. So I guess that's the end of it, and I guess everybody will get back on their feet. But it's not easy. I see a lot of people in these times getting sued, y'all. I see a lot of people in these times. I'm telling you, y'all, a lot of people getting sued. The slightest thing, they calling their lawyer on speed dial, y'all. I'm telling you. There's another thing I wanted to bring to you guys. It was this. Did you guys ever hear about this rapper named? I've never heard of this guy, but his name is BigXThaPlug. So BigXThaPlug, I believe he's from Texas. He's getting charged with these like big drug charges. But in my head, I'm saying your name is BigXThaPlug. How real do you want to keep it? Do you want to keep it real to tell people the hustling that you're doing in the street? You're gonna name yourself after that? You don't get it? You cannot come online and people are so well. They say they have nothing else to show their credibility of a real. Then try to explain the things that they do or they're doing. And like, if you're going to be doing all of that, you to plug this and that, and you're actually doing it in the street, don't bring that into hip hop. Leave that shit out there, man. We're sick and tired of people bringing that crime nonsense, and guess who's going to get knocked? When these people get locked up, everybody go down. That's the new video I'm dropping after this video is over. It's on snitching. People talking like, oh, I don't snitch this and that. Yes, you do. You do snitch. You do snitch. Just because you're a rapper, it doesn't mean that when you get behind and you get put in those positions, you get a better way out than a regular person. No. When you get behind there, the only way you getting out is snitching. People know that. A lot of people like to go around and paint these whole bunch of pictures. They go online and they try to prove themselves to people that don't even care about them. Go about your business. You did what you did. Nobody, if they want to see you about something, or they'll see you in the street. But on here is not the place for that. A lot of dudes come up here, trust me, half of these dudes, they be fronting and faking. They be fronting and faking. I'm telling you guys, man, a lot of these people are going to be in trouble and wiped out by 2026. They're going to be in prison. You don't think prisoners make these people money too? It's almost like $1 million a bunk in prison. And these people are getting paid more than these people ever made laying in those beds. They don't know no better. They don't know no better. All they know is when they hit the wall, they're going to keep hitting the same wall. They're not going to ever go say, you know, look this way or look that way. There's a way to go around it. No, they're going to keep hitting the same brick wall. They don't have this. Because if they had this, they wouldn't be doing these types of things, and they would know how to conduct themselves in a place like that, man. You don't got to come online and show how real you are. Who cares? Who really cares when all it takes is boom and then you're down? Who really cares about how real you are? Think about it. You got the youth thinking that's the way to make money, showing people how real you are. Look, the realer you are, the closer it is, the closer it is for you to be in prison. Because that type of real ain't real in this world. All of that yibbity yap, he's tougher than this. The minute you put your hands on somebody that's not a part of the streets, man, they're going to put you in jail and take your bank account from you. You don't see what they're doing to Lil Baby? You think that's a game? You think that they can't pull a conspiracy charge? Look, listen, once you have millions of dollars and you name your a crew and it sounds like a gang, and you have people working for you, and one of those people, no matter where, if you're there or not, they go commit a crime against somebody else that can prove that you guys have problems, you think that's not a RICO? A RICO is a conspiracy. RICO got everybody on the list, y'all. RICO list longer than a Christmas list. All people could do is like, word, really? But I can't say what you did or didn't do, and I can't take what you're saying is real or not until them people start pulling up and see what they got on you. Because 9 out of 10 times they probably got these people on camera, and they got the reason why they probably put their name in there because they're probably figuring out the evidence now. It's either you're gonna have to pay millions of dollars to get himself out of this, or he's gonna have to do a long time in prison. That's how it goes. Once you reach a certain status, all the street talk and all that, we already know that you can't do that. You can't do that. People know you, you don't know them. You got to be careful online because the more you getting into all of this, it's like online beef is, y'all are losing your lives, man. I'm telling you. It's very simple. It's very simple how this goes down. It's because people are not paying attention to the real things that's going on. You can't do it. You can't have a name, what's it, BigXThaPlug, and you're actually the plug. What type of sense does that make, man? Y'all gotta get some education, man. If the more you add education to your business, you will live a longer time and your business will strive. A lot of these people, it's just, come on, it's here today, gone tomorrow. The money is like, it's like you leased your lifestyle. You don't even own your lifestyle. Your lifestyle's on lease because in a few it's gonna be gone. These people can't even be friends in their own because they know it's a lot of foolishness going on, man. You mean to tell me a group of people can't put their minds together to make everybody eat and leave it and leave successful? Well, that means that what are we dealing with here? This is a lack of education, the business side of it, everything. Forget about being a hustler. A hustler, you selling a product that makes people addicted to it. Come on. We talking about sitting down and planning something and executing it. It's not the same thing. I don't care what these people tell you. It's not the same thing. So with this lost sense of hope that people are out there pitching, you got to realize, man, these people are going to find themselves in prison for a very long time. Watch what I tell you. Celebrity cases are going to be sky through the roof because you cannot use your star celebrity, that money that you made legally, and do illegal things with it. You become like, you're almost like a terrorist to society. You mean you made all those millions of dollars to turn around and then go at your neighborhood or whatever beefs you have? You know how long they put those gang members away? We never see those guys again. Nah, man. And I can't believe what ASAP Relli, what are you doing? So that means ASAP Rocky, he's trying to put ASAP Rocky back in court, in the civil courts. That means he was there. Look, the money, man. It's the money. It's the money. It's the money. People really think like, I guess because at this point he realizes that, you know, his online presence probably has been, you know, scratched or wiped away because of Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. So now he feels like this is the last option for him. But let me tell you something, man. If you don't have this up here, like I always tell you guys, just because you made money doesn't make you a money maker. So just because somebody can hand you, or you made money when the crew was making this and that and money was going around a little, doesn't mean that after you could take those same thoughts and go somewhere else and make the money on your own. You have to be a money maker no matter who you're around. Don't you know a lot of these people out there, they're gonna be lost in the few because the robberies are real. If your life is on social media, the way you treat people, don't you think other people see that? Yeah. Financial advisors are people, lawyers are people too, doctors are people too. All of these people see your character being displayed online as a demon. Do you think when you come in contact with those people, they're not going to have that in the back of their head? Wisen up. Wisen up. People are waking up and their bank accounts is going to be on 00 and you can't fight from prison. You can't fight from prison. You can fight in prison. You can't fight from prison. Talking about prison, Tory Lanez, it seems like every time he pick up the phone or he trying to they fighting and all that, prison riots, this is what you got to deal with when you find yourself in these positions, man. It don't seem, to be honest with you, it don't seem like Tory Lanez is going to make it out. The things I be hearing about what's going on in prison, the riots, is shorter staff with the correction officers. I hear things. So now people are running wild, and this is what happened to Rikers from back in the day. Rikers has been ran by correction officers for the longest. And by the prisoners for the longest over the correction officers. So at the end of the day, look what happens. And now we see certain officers, they're killing. It's not the place you want to be. It's not the place you want to be. You know how many rappers right now are in prison? Come on, man. We got to do better than that, man. We got to do better than that. And some good, talented, look, even Fetty Wap. Fetty, promising future. He took his, once you're dealing with like fentanyl and drugs, this and that, it shows that you're the changing of your life through music. You wasn't fulfilled with that. You still wanted to go back to the streets because of whatever contracts or whatever you might have going that you feel like you might not making a certain amount of money. I don't know how much the guy was making, but it probably was a good amount because I've seen him make hit records on the radio. He's been on tours, and all of a sudden you just boom, one day on the news he get caught up in a sting with fentanyl, this and that. Now he's thrown away. It's like, dog, what are you dealing with all of that stuff for? All of that keeping it real in hip hop doesn't exist. The guy that's going to keep it the realest, the guy that's going to die for what he stands for, does not look like the real you guys are talking about. I can guarantee you that. I could put on my life that. The people you think that do a lot of running their mouth, the first thing they're going to do is run to the police. To the police. And it happens every single time. And you guys don't know how to differentiate citizens from people in the streets. You gotta make up your mind. If you start hurting people in the streets, your family, all of you guys are gonna get wiped out. And don't start screaming that black culture stuff when you get your behind in trouble. Don't let me start hearing you start screaming and squealing when you get yourself in trouble, because you did those crimes and now you're gonna come try to run back black culture. Meanwhile, the crimes that you was doing was hurting your own black culture. Now we on something different this morning. You got to cut that out. If you really for your culture and you standing for your culture and you really for your people, when them people put them cuffs on you, people will fight for you. But if you just came around, people will turn their head like nothing ain't happening. So don't start screaming black culture. If you ain't got if you don't really have love. If you just coming to take away, well, whatever happens to you happens to you. Greedy people fall in the same bucket. This is the mentality that people are carrying and dealing themselves with. Is the same mentality that's going to get them found somewhere. I see this happening every single time. And you letting people trick you out the bag. Like I just seen I see this getting traction now. Tony Yayo and the Vlad interview. Vlad asked him a certain amount of questions that made it seem like and Yayo said how 50 Cent was crazy, and 50, Fifth is if the man feel a certain way about somebody saying something about him, the man gonna speak. He's always been that way. This is what we know. But it's the questioning and the word and then this and the same. These are the things that outside, like you can't, when you outside, you can't really approach people in these types of ways. Like you can't just ask anybody anything, and it's like people got business going on and it's all for the views. You got to be more aware. You got to be sharp on what you're saying online, knowing that the things that you're saying, they can't pull up in court and they can't put you or paint you this way. They ain't got no information on that. Be smarter than what you do. You don't have to come up here and prove to another guy on here that you're real. Who cares? I don't care how real you are. I don't care how many weights you lift. I don't care how many guns you shot. I don't care how real you are. How many times we gotta say that? I told you, even if it was Pablo Escobar, I'll laugh in the man's face right on the social media in front of the world to see. I don't care. Unless you standing right in front of me and something's gonna go down, it's gonna go down. But I don't care what people say on here. You can have the biggest, I don't care. We are about development for our community, trying to big people and get people in a better place. People are losing their jobs, bad health, bad food being poisoning, social media fooling the youth. You think I'm gonna worry about somebody on here trying to keep it real for a few dollars? Does that make sense to you? You know where I'm from? That don't make sense out here at all. I don't even think about that nonsense. It's like whatever happens, it happens. You got to be able to stand on what you're saying, and you got to be willing to die for it in these times if you want to make a mark in this world today. So wake up and fight for something. Don't let these people out here fool you and try to do what you do. They can't do what you do because you're doing it. You got to realize all these people with this on here, the longer they do this, the more they become a target. for somebody, anybody, somebody, anybody. You don't know how people, what they're going through or what they have dealing with their family. And you go talking some mumbo jumbo thinking you, oh, I got a few views today. Well, it's going to be more. When somebody puts you on a shirt, you got to mind what you're saying. Stop trying to act bigger than the person that you really are, because we know what it is. We all human beings. It ain't like that. Trust me, it ain't like that. Let me see. One more thing I wanted to talk about too. When it comes to the court system, what's up with Young Thug's jewelry? Why do them people give back the man his jewelry? He beat the case. He coming back for his jewelry. Now they hesitating to give the man his jewelry. You know why? They probably got rid of his jewelry, sold it. Somebody grabbed it up. A lot of funny stuff be going on because people tend to forget that those are still human beings too. And greed could be in a lot of different people. There's no mask for that. The greed sits right in the same place where your heart is. And, them people that got inside, their souls will be eaten eventually. The type of case you just like, what, that happened? You just don't know. There's no explanation. It is what it is. What happened? So be mindful, man. Be mindful out there. Give the man Young Thug back his jewelry or whatever you guys took when you raided this place. It's like, come on now. And that's the same reason, all of that, and I'm going to tell you guys, for my black people, my people out there, part of the hip hop culture, sometimes you lighten up on that stuff. You're trying to make some money out there. You got the most diamonds on your neck. Now you're broke, almost at bankruptcy, but you still got to put on this image. If you told the truth about yourself, people are more buy back into you to get you back where you was. But you're over there feeling like life is just, a yacht and a box of chocolate. And that's the reason why people don't want to pay attention to that nonsense, because you're not matching the community. You're not matching the energy of your community, the places you came from. Don't you see your own people out there, then people are trying to get themselves together. They're losing jobs. People that have family members that took on sickness and stuff like that. And all you guys got up there is a smile with some fake teeth and throwing money up still. You still on that high school nonsense? Get off of that stuff, man. You don't see what's going on in the community, man. If you don't wisen up, you start realizing the people that's in control of your money, they're going to start taking from y'all. Who you think they're going to rob us? No, we the ones that's trying to get it. So who you think they're going to rob? Who you think? Wake up. Now who we see? Look, another one of these funny guys. Look, what's his name? I heard this name a while in the industry, Kevin Lyles. Now he's being sued for what? Sexual allegations. These guys, trust me, man. Look, you take one look at Kevin Lyles now, and yeah, they suing him for that. It's the same funny stuff that's been going on all this time that we've been hearing about. So all this time, it's like, wake up, hip hop, wake up. All this time, Kevin Lyles was going through the Diddy cases and the R. Kelly case, and he was one of them. And that's why I always tell you, the person that you're trying to tell the secret to about somebody else is the same person that did the same thing that somebody else did. These people ain't right. And I'd be damned if they have religion in their life. They'll do anything and tell you anything to sidetrack you from that, because they know with that comes structure, and these people ain't used to that. I didn't even see people with fake diplomas. I was been scratching that out. These people, rich people like Diddy, they had to take back his fake diploma that they gave him in Howard or something, because he ain't even sat in the class. How you trying to talk to kids in the school and you couldn't even stay in class? Man, I'd rather hear that lesson from somebody that at least went through it. These fake diplomas they got going on, that's going to be cut out by 2026 too. You can't buy your way into education. You can't just buy wisdom. You can't buy wisdom. Don't let these people fool you with these night and day diplomas. Man, it's nonsense, man. Oh, I'm going to take school for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, man? You kidding me? Man, if you don't go back to school and do that 4 years, get a real education, I don't want to see you hang up that nonsense on the wall right next to the fake plaques. You don't got it up here. Look, you go pick up a book. Go pick that up. You can't read a book. How you writing a rap? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's crazy. People be talking a lot of stuff, you guys. They be talking a lot of stuff, but when it boils down to the real, it's like, you're not as tough as you think you are. And you're not willing to go all the way because you didn't have that in you. Let's be honest. We miss the greats that's been lost. Like, rest in peace, Biggie Smalls once again, man. Been watching the Biggie Smalls doc. It's a damn shame what they did to Big. It's a damn shame what they did to Big. And it all surrounds jealousy, greed, and misunderstood men that can't come to terms. That's the problem. Tupac, he was wilding. He went in there and beat on somebody thinking that he wasn't gonna get no repercussions. These are the facts, man. This is not who you like as an artist or if he a rapper. Look, man, you put your hands on another man and you thinking nothing gonna happen because you're gonna run off on stage. It just don't work like that. It don't work like that. Those guys in LA would have told, nah, there's gonna be problems behind that. They would have told you that. They would have told you that. You have to be careful and mindful how you treat people and how you conduct yourself in these times. Everything ain't just a box of chocolate. Sometimes that chocolate got poison in it. And we seen by a lot of things that's going on, a lot of situations. Look, remember with the planes. They say, well, planes and remember the old saying, well, there's more chance of you dying in a car accident than a plane. And all of a sudden the planes kept dropping now, more by numbers, planes dropping, more tragedies. You don't see the world is trying to wake you up? Stop making the same mistakes all the time. And then you turn around and these people dating the same people. I'm surprised none of their kids don't just pop out looking alike. It's crazy. It's disgusting. And got the nerve to talk about the Carters, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Beyonce and Jay-Z still together and they whole family together. Why you can't keep yours together? Worrying about what Jay-Z and Beyonce doing all the time. What Jay-Z and Beyonce been doing was showing people that you don't have to be online every single day talking nonsense and trying to make up these stories and you can still have a remarkable career. That's what Jay-Z and Beyonce is doing, and they're showing you that their kids are going to be doing the same thing. Then you got these weird guys like the Diddys and guys, and they trying to tie their story with Jay because the same guy tried to sue them. It ain't the same thing. Diddy's kids are all in the mix. They're in everybody's face, and they don't see the wrongs within their father. You don't see no wrong in that as a youth? You don't see that you can't drug people and just take what you want because you have the most money in the world? But let me tell you something. Having the most money in the world is a scary way to live. You never thought of it like that. You be the only one with that one only thing that everybody wants and see how you survive it. That's how life works. You're supposed to set an example for the people that you're bringing up. Set a better example. You know your wrongs. Why are you pushing it on other people so they can make the same wrong? And these are the people that supported these people. Take it easy on the comments. I'm going to get to you guys in a second when I'm finished talking when I'm talking. Because these people don't know what they're doing. They're leading people in the wrong direction. And that's the reason why when they talk about the gatekeepers, people in our culture, we have a sad way of gatekeeping our own people. And they always mess with the wrong people. They'll put on the person that ain't got a wee bit of talent, but he could shoot something down. And then when they get in trouble and the RICO come in, that's the same guy that's going to say, nah, they with me. Yeah, they with you. Yeah, they with you. We ain't dealing with the same thing. You see, I see a lot of guys with this whole Diddy thing. He knew the exact people to put around to scare. A lot of these guys, they've been around talking about, he put them out of a deal and this and that. They couldn't fight back because they were scared of the guy. So he knew these guys that were around, they wasn't going to do nothing to him. He was going to talk the nonsense or whatever. He probably said some wild stuff about Pac in front of these people just to be the macho man. You know the macho man. Get on here and think that he the toughest in the world. That ain't happening no more. Trust me, there's no man on this earth that's going to sit and say, I'm the toughest in the world. No, trust me, man. You're going to see a bunch of little people beating at the monster's knees until he dropped to them. The only person you got to worry about is the Most High. That's it. Everybody else, they fall in line. Use this. This is the strongest thing you have. This will get you further than this. This will get you in prison. And this. They'll get you in prison. People don't even know how to do that. There's so many people out here that's lost because in wherever they're from, they don't have no structure. You see, some gangs have structure because it all depends on the person that starts that set. If he got it up here and he was taught something up here, then the rest of the set will listen to that guy. But if he's off up here and all he know how to do is aim and shoot people down, that whole set is going to get a RICO. You got to think smart. It's not just about being in a gang. It's about your future. Your future does not include your whole gang in it. I'm pretty sure right now, if you sit down and think, if you're in a gang and you sit down right now, if you could name 2 people that don't like you in that gang, leave that gang. Those are going to be the same 2 people that try to sneak you. Because nowadays what I'm seeing is the toughest people are the ones that's getting knocked off. Because they're getting snooked. They thinking nobody could do it, this and that, and then the little man come up and knock niggas. Come on. Be mindful of what you do. There's a lot of OGs out here that's smart enough to know, wait, man, the youth, they don't have no structure to this, man. They shooting everything. Why do you think, look at the mob, look at the mafia. When they knock something off, it's somebody that's playing in the same field. It's even, look at the serial killers, like this one conversation that I had on my video. Serial killers, you know how long it takes to catch a serial killer? Because he's the only person that did it. Trust in yourself. You don't need a whole bunch of people to pull something. And I ain't telling you what to do, but just be smart about what you're doing. You know better than when them bullets go off and they hit that little girl. You know you got to turn yourself in. That's somebody's mother. You got to put tears in her eyes. Are you crazy? And you want people to turn around and not say it's you? It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. What are you going to do? It's you, it's you. If you do any criminal things and you start doing things to women and start drugging people, all that stuff got to get out of here. We don't like that in America. You go somewhere else with that, all this drugging. But you mean you can't kick enough game, or you don't have enough chains on your neck to impress a female? So every time it got to be a first date for you, you on some little man stuff. You on some little man stuff. Real men know once they get into bed and they see the sex and they get to know the person, you gotta. I was never ever in my life worth money. You kidding me? Don't you know how fast a woman will run from a man with money that ain't treating her right to a man that just trying to get himself together? Are you kidding me? The hurt that comes with that, the pain that comes with that nonsense that they've been selling you guys is the same pain that's going to put you in the coffin or put you in the psycho ward like these foolish people like Kanye West and all these people lost their way. So what? They got money. They poor up here. They been poor up there. They talk down on people, on their own people, and he told you, when you get on, he gonna leave it for a white guy, and he did it. He did it. He did it. Come on now. No, listen to what they're saying. Now there's people that they offer the community, and there's people that made it to a certain status and say, you know what? No, I know what they're going through because I was there. But then there's other people that say, you know what? For you to reach where I'm at, you're going to have to go through this. No, that's not the blueprint for your people. You don't never ever treat your people like that. You don't ever do that, and especially don't do that to the youth. That's why the youth say, forget it, we're going to do it our way. The youth didn't know no better. They just see something working and they try to do it over their way to try to get out of their situation. I ain't mad at them. I'm not mad at them. They had to, y'all. The money went up. They couldn't do the things that we do, how we celebrated. The money for everything started going to the sky, to the roof. So the youth had to do as much as they could on here to try to get a few dollars to try. Don't you think the youth gonna have families too? So they had to do whatever they can to get a little piece of change because everything costs a lot of money. Meanwhile, the older guys were trying to feed them the false information because they know they couldn't get that money back. It was all written. Their time been up. Don't poison people's minds just because you're hurt, man. It sucks out here. It sucks. And they know they're going to fall short. They know it. Because people start to learn to understand that when you trust in somebody and you give your all to somebody, you don't have to watch your back. You see a lot of these guys, they're talking about, oh, this is my friend, this is my friend. That ain't your friend. How is that your friend? He just dissed you. How is that your friend? He talks down on you when you're not there. When your name comes up, he doesn't mention anything good. How is that your friend? Just because you knew him for years? Are you crazy? You seen what Alpo did to Rich? Did you see in Harlem? Did you hear the Harlem story? Did you see the painful and see what he did to his own friend? They started that stuff. That stuff went through the boroughs. Nobody ever forgot it. I didn't have to see no movie to see that. I'd been knew about that. It's sad out here. You see where Alpo is at now? Do you see where he's at? Do you see the ending of this? Yeah. Then when rap came into, they started duplicating it because it seemed like the toughest thing to do, and then people started dying. It's the real way. This is how it's going down. Don't follow these guys, y'all. Trust me, they lying to you. I'm telling you. Everybody's on this frictional, I got this. You don't got it. You don't got it. Guarantee you don't got it. You ain't seen nobody go out like how, mental health is serious, you guys. Like I told you, it could be the guy at the Frank stand. It could be your mailman. It could be your hairdresser. You see how, if you watch what's going on, you'll start to realize, wow, I think I might have to conduct myself in this way, or you know, because people are going to take it in this, and they're going to always, you know, want me to come this way. It don't take that much to understand that. You see, all the guys, like the guys that stuck to the music, and the guys that really wanted to do it and have it in their heart, they got blessed with a certain opportunity and a time span to get what they got going, build on it, and bring other people to uplift them. The guys that were saying, oh, it's just for a hustle, this and that, they still scrambling. They don't know. They fight every day. They fight for a new hit. It's nothing really substantial. They're just fighting for new hits. Everybody that made it already, they're trying to save face, and they're trying to put on a mask and let themselves, you know, they look, I'm smart now, you know, because I got all this money. I got this. You ain't smart. You're a big dummy. You got all that money. You mean to tell me the places where you come from, they got gangs in the street, and you couldn't pull that gang out and say, look, this is how I didn't take that gang. One by one, you start pulling the people you know that you got love for, and you let them know that you ain't going to do this no more. I don't want to see you in prison. We ain't seen a lot of that because they still with the music. Half of these, I've seen these people driving the music up. They can't even think. It's a bunch of poison going in, whether it's in your food, your music. You have to be very aware of what these people pitching at you. They want you to keep spending, and when you look around, you ain't got nothing to feed your kids, this and that. You think the people gonna care about you? There's one thing about supporting people, and there's another thing about supporting the wrong people. You go support the same person that's gonna put you in that. So use this. Are you going to have to use this? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I see, you know, a lot. This is, you know, I was watching this interview, and it was about Philly. You know, if you guys notice, I watch Oskino. I watch a lot of Oskino vlogs. I see him on YouTube, and he's always, you know, I felt like the way he came up and the things he do, you know, as far as like his painting and things, very talented brother. And recently I seen him get into like this back and forth with this guy. You know, we all know it. This guy, he's probably a Meek Mill bodyguard or something like that. And as I hear the whole situation going back and forth, I said, you know what? There's one thing about Philly. People get it misconstrued. They think that Philly is not like Chicago where everybody is just a bunch of killers or have to go that route. There's a lot of smart, educated brothers out there too that defend themselves, even if by any means possible. A lot of those brothers out there want to come together. In Philly, I feel like Philly and Chicago and Detroit, these are the places where we're going to find the new Black Panthers and the new people that's going to try to, because they're the only people that can talk to the Lions. So when the Lions are out there and they're going wild, you got to have somebody that can go talk to those people too. But the misbalance is that we ain't helping our own people. And we ain't helping the right people. I'm telling you, if we came together, it's nothing to be scared about. A lot of people do a lot of this shooting. I see a little car crash, he ready to pull out a gun. They scared. Those are scared people. The minute you pull out the gun quick, it's because you don't want to get shot. It's whatever you saw on social media. It will hold up in court. Trust me, it's going to be a big fight. I see there's going to be a few cases where you're going to see civilians shoot at people because they're scared. It's because what you're seeing, what you're putting up here, you got a different impression of people. Those guys in Philly, yeah, we see a lot of murders go on, but there's a lot of righteous brothers out there too. But they paint a picture of the violence. But no, the violence could be structured by this. Once you wise and you start thinking smart, you start learning more and more. You can't be tricked. You can't be tricked, man. I'm telling you, they're gonna try to throw as much tricks and call you this and call you that so you can go do something stupid and end up in prison. And now when they got the lion locked up, they're going to tease the food by the cage. Yeah, you can't fool nobody. See, once the lion know, wait, hold on, let me wait. Let me wait till you get close to me. And when you get close to him, you grab him. And now it's a different story. You know, the lion you thought he was is different, right? That's how you got to move. Be careful of what you're doing and how you paint the picture on social media. On social media, you're supposed to be what are you doing painting this monster picture on these people platform for? You know better than that. What are you doing? All of this stuff, you know they're taking it from social media to court. You mean you're going to paint yourself up like a monster? For who are you trying to impress? There's nobody scared of that. Come on now, we got to do better than that. We got to start realizing that if you take that same energy, put some ownership in something and show your peoples and the youth that they can make some money through those routes. Stop taking from the youth and trying to make a profit off of it. We've seen this time and time again. Respect Black American culture, hip hop. The thing that made us get to a certain point where we know we probably never would have made it here on just regular time. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of opportunity has been built through this, and you mean to tell me y'all gonna just give it up for greediness? Then people in your pocket already with the streaming and everything, they telling y'all how you gonna get paid, this and that, and you mean to tell me up to this point nobody has structured out some kind of ownership blueprint? Y'all care about the money or what, man, or the culture, man? It's good to care about both, but you have to have more love for the culture, man. For the people that got you in the spot. Don't you know a lot of those old school dudes, they ain't make as much money, but they lived through enough of the game where they're seeing it grow. Right now the game is in one place. It's not growing. It's not growing at all. We know this. This we know. The number one records, do they feel number one in our hearts? Do they? You tell me. You tell me. I listen to Nas. I can't tell you. I listen to Nas over and over and over and over. I got different Nas. He's been putting up new. That's why I can't tell you. A lot of the stuff I can't relate to the stuff that they're putting out there because at the end of the day, it's not fulfilling to me. A lot of the stuff I already know is twisted words put into their own. It's just, it's disgusting. Get off of that mixtape mentality too. Start putting together a substantial amount of projects that can stick to the wall. Because we're going to have years of a lot of this music that's not going to be remembered. The crimes are being more remembered than the actual artists. You mean you got to go shoot somebody down just to be remembered in hip-hop? I don't want that, then. What's going on, y'all? Blessings, blessings, blessings. Peace, peace, peace. Love y'all. Y'all know that. 100 to all my people. You already know. You know we see eye to eye with this, man. It's a shame out here. I see it. It's really happening, you guys. It's really, really happening. We seeing change, and I don't think it's for the better. I don't know. I don't know how to call it. I don't know how to call it. I feel like right now, everybody, they have, even the person that's not in the street, because of social media, probably has an enemy or a target or two just in case. It's crazy out here, man. The energy is crazy. Bunch of nonsense. And I was so surprised with that interview with Jimmy and Cameron and people over there. Oh no, these guys gotta stop. What do you mean they gotta stop? We grown ass man. If the man say he ain't friends with him, the man ain't friends with him. The man said he gonna box his head. You over there laughing and giggling. No, it ain't no laughing and giggling when it come down to the streets. No matter, that's what I always tell you. When it comes to cracking jokes on social media, you can crack jokes and all that stuff. It's funny. The memes go around, it's funny, but after a while you have to realize how you hurt somebody, how you made them feel. That is more important than the joke you're cracking. I'm telling you. Even Dame Dash learned that. He's grown now to understand that, yeah, you might be the funniest in the room, but at the end of the day, what you leave with people says more for you than what you said about that person in the room. Yeah, you disrespected me in front of everybody. Everybody could be all the stars that you disrespect me. But I'll never forget that. You see, what you leave with people, you might go along like you might be the toughest, this and that, but when tables turn, and them tables do turn, we know that. When them tables turn, don't you be going and begging and squealing and this and that no more. Don't be doing that. So you want to be a monster, you got to stay a monster. You want to treat people a certain way, but if you want to change yourself and change your life and how you treat people, you have to first realize what you did and be sorry for it. Don't just go out there, because then you could blame it on a whole bunch of other stuff that happened in your life. But until you go to that root of that problem, you'll never understand it, and you end up in these same positions. And that goes for anybody that thought that's the way how you treat people. That goes for anybody in hip hop. It don't matter how funny your jokes are. You ain't a comedian. The comedians could do that. I'd rather Dave Chappelle or one of those guys crack a joke on me, then I'll laugh with it. But when you're talking about you just cracking jokes to get ahead and this and that, pushing people, all of that stuff, I'm telling you, man, I'm just keeping it real with you. You might not want to hear it, but it's something you got to hear. I don't care how you take it. I'm telling you like how it is and how I feel. A lot of people are very disrespectful. And you don't hurt your own people and your culture and start belittling people for some piece of money, because the money is not going to be there forever. Usually the things that you do and the things that you build, that's what people can look back, and your story should be implemented within that thing. If it ain't that, you just hustle, man, 101. Take it or leave it. Hip hop or not, rock and roll, it don't matter. Any genre, whatever you got, it's always going to be the same thing. How you make people feel is how your story lives on. Don't disrespect people. That's how it go. The OGs will tell you. I even seen this other, I was watching this DVD, it was not, DVD, it was a documentary on Queensbridge. And the guy, he was telling a little story that, back in the day, how he got into a little thing with LL and things might have came up missing. You know how it go in the mix. But at the end of the day, it's just the love that the community had, and just to have that understanding. There's a lot of OGs that see things differently than the past. Don't be looking at the OGs that we talking about. The OGs we talking about have a different sense of wisdom right now, and they're re-changing things. I'm talking about the people that want to keep up with the madness and keep up with the nonsense. You don't understand, this game is not made for you. This was all, look, man, I told you AI is going to solve every little crime you guys come up with. Every little crime, AI is going to solve that eventually. If you do it today, you just put yourself, the time is ticking, the time is ticking. Now, some people get away with things, but that ain't nothing for social media to be talking about. That ain't nothing about business. After this, I got a video dropping, y'all. It's on the difference between snitching and telling. And you're going to start realizing how much money people are making for this information. What? They want to put money over everybody's head and this and that? You want to see how much money them people, them informants are making? Y'all tune in after for this next video coming up, man. I'm telling you, man. People ain't thinking like how they think they thinking, man. The celebrities gonna be celebrities. They're gonna dress and they're gonna, take their styles but at the end of the day, man, it's all smoke and mirrors. We know that. We're past that part. A lot of this stuff I only see until up to the point. I don't pay attention. If you look at my Mickey Man, I don't follow a lot of people like that. And it's not to be arrogant or nothing like that, but it's just like it doesn't fit my energy. It just don't fit my energy. So what? What you got going on is not for the community, it's for your pockets. We see this all the time. And that's the reason why I came on here today, to let you guys know things are changing, things are happening. We're going to see a lot going forward. Don't be worried about what they got in this baby oil. These people can't do nothing to you, because in step in front of you, things will be a lot different than you really, I'm telling you. Learn how to protect yourself with your mind before you learn how to protect yourself with a weapon, and you'll be all right. Can't nobody on this earth tell you what to do, or you ain't nobody, because that's their inner spirit talking to themselves. You are somebody. God put you on this earth. We're living this life together. Let's do the best that we could for each other, instead of stop being like these people and just pushing people away. That same destruction would be the same destruction that's turned upon them. It's not just hip hop that controls the music, and your way of thinking, but hip hop is the biggest commercial right now for it. Because in other music genres, you're not gonna hear R&B really go that route. Rock and roll ain't that popular. I'm telling you what it is. Country is the most popular, and country their stories, they do get aggressive in those stories, but it's told in such a formatted story form that when you listen to the country song, you're like, oh, that's what he was talking about. At least in hip hop, we had put some structure to it. You don't have to name on your block 231 shot that. All of that stuff, it's low vibration and it's giving the paperwork to the police. The youth look at that and it's so easy to do. Taking somebody's life is so easy to do. Talking about somebody is so easy to do that these easy choices are the things that lands them in prison. That's it. That's it. Hip hop is, you see, the reason why other genres are not going to be treated like hip hop, because hip hop, these people can be bought. You understand? I didn't really want to tell this on social media because it could be detrimental. But yes, hip hop artists can be bought because some people have bad contracts, and outside of that, they are looking to feed their family, and they have an impression on their audience that the audience might think they're bigger than what they actually have in their bank account. So if that guy comes over and it's detrimental to the culture, the next move he makes, or he has to stand with this politician to be detrimental to the culture, they're gonna take it for the money. This we know already. And they're going to turn around and say, remember when I did this first song, you liked me then, this and that. They'll make all of these excuses because they know that the reason why they did it was for the money. Those are the type of people we don't need in our leadership. At least like when, there's somebody there that could say, no, filter something. But if you're going to take every dollar that throws, who's to say that you won't even take the dollar to go lick me down? You'll take money to do anything. So why would I have trust in that type of person? It's common sense. We know good people. We don't do that. It's not everything. Just because you throw some money in a female's face don't mean that she's going to pull off her panties. Don't mean that. And now you go and you push and you push and then now you force. That's what those people do. That's the greed. Me and we've had chicks I had chicks from kindergarten. It's proven. It's from kindergarten. My first girlfriend, I only want to call my, because they're all, I love you all. I wish I give you all a hug all the same time. But these people are the guys that they didn't have those opportunities. When they in these places, they feel like and they think they know something. Oh, the only reason why she here is because you have money. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if the only reason why she's there, and you have money, is she wants to get to know you beyond of what she thinks. Maybe it's something more to that. You never thought of it that way? Oh no, but you're gonna take advantage of her because you feel like without this, you wouldn't have had her. So that's not gonna be there long for you anyway. So you still think you have her? Not when guys like myself come along, because women are starting to see more value within themselves. The sooner the women see more value within themselves, they would turn around in the camera and move their behinds out the screen and start showing their face. Move your behind out the screen and start, because if you're talking about that's your wife with her ass up in the air on social media, that ain't yours. Every man know that. You think a man can't tell if that female is yours or not? Are you crazy? You know where we living at? One look at your female and she's gone. And you could be in the biggest of whip, man. You can't look. Females are realizing you're not going to be able to. You can't cook, clean, and raise a family in that Rolls Royce, can you? You got a kitchen in the back. You can do that? No, you have to have a substantial life, a stable life. If a female is lost and she's not looking for that, that's why she finds herself in those positions. But once a female learns what she wants and knows her value, when she's sitting those, what else is there to it? Yeah, it's a Rolls Royce today. Next year is going to be something else. The year after that is going to be something else new. Are you keeping up with cars? Are you keeping up with your family? You see, the man is going to be there's a difference in man when you see guys that say they full of all this material stuff and they put that before themselves. Well, those are the same things when somebody else has a shinier diamond, they're going to run to that. They don't have worth within themselves. I've been telling you this. No matter, they can come over and act like it is or put the big money up to their ear, but the fun that you think they have in it, they don't have that. Because the minute they leave out of those positions, the minute they go away for 1 year and they come back, those doors are locked. You can't get back in that door. Who you fooling? I got this. I know the guys that's going to be successful for a long time. Those are the guys that have this, not the guys that have this or this. That don't get you nowhere. You can't scare people into believing in you. They have to feel it in here to believe in you, to know that whatever you do next, they're coming behind for the ride. Don't let these people fool you, man. I got a new video dropping later on. I hope you guys really tune in. I got a video that I dropped earlier. I got a lot of conversations we got to really chop it up on, man. But this video about snitching and telling, don't get it confused with these people. And don't let them try to talk down on you because you're doing the best to save your family. You doing crime out here, hurting people, and you snitch, snitch. Like, who are you? Who are you talking on social media talking about somebody's a snitch? Who are you? Do you work for the system? Are you that house nigga? Are you one of those? This ain't the place for you. Don't come up on here telling about how the rules are supposed to be. Ain't nobody following your rules. You can't structure your life. Why would I follow your rules? Because they came from back in the day? Forget about back in the day. We talking about the present. Don't let me hear, he snitch, he snitch. What do you mean? Snitch on what? What'd you do? Who'd you shoot? Did you have to shoot him? Why'd you bring him involved in your thing? Because you was scared. You was scared. You don't ever hear a serial killer snitching, 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 snitching. What's wrong with y'all? Do the crime, expect to do the time. And when that time comes up, you should be fulfilled if the crime was worth doing. If the crime ain't worth doing, don't hang with them folks. Oh, grouped up dummies. Don't you know that's the RICO? And then you're one of us. That's our people out there. And you're not thinking. You're not thinking. You're thinking this tough stuff was gonna last forever, and I told you it wasn't. I told you what they was gonna do. And you sat there, and you took the RICO, and you hurt your whole family and other people's families. And now you want people to turn around and use some black culture. My goodness. You haven't read 2 pages of the Bible. And you some black culture. These people piss me off. These people really, they kidding me. And got the nerve to point down every white person and talk about they this. So they ain't every white person that's racist. Who told you this nonsense? Who told you this? Is that the guy in the corner that told you this? Let me speak to that guy. Who told you this? Who told you that? Who told you that your mistake is the reason why you're at where you're now? That's not why. Anybody could do hip hop. Is what you do with it that makes you stand out when you're in it. Ain't about if you could write a rap and then these people got it all twisted, man. They better work on the hip hop culture and stop working on worrying about how many Billboard numbers and this nonsense these people be talking about. Nobody care about that Billboard #1 stuff. All that stuff fixed numbers. If the song ain't good, it's not going to resonate with people. I don't care what you do. Gotta wake up, man. Gotta wake up. Got these people fooled by these numbers of people. You got all these numbers. If the numbers was real, why when that person say the next concert, why you can't get those 240-something thousand or whatever people to march behind you for a good cause? You talking about some numbers real. You couldn't even get those people to march behind you. They don't believe in you. They believe in the drama that you was ready to post on the silly songs you're dropping. Be mindful and go viral. That's the challenge for today in hip hop. Go viral for something positive. And now you're saying something. Now you're saying something. Actually write something down substantial enough to go viral with something that's positive, that's not hurting your own people. I'm going to get back up with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about the videos they dropping after. You know, the energy's up today, man. A lot of people are doing some foolishness that we can't go for. We got to use this. We already got this. We already here now. There's no turning back. I told you. Good and evil. I'm not stopping. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, y'all know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now and like and share the videos. Let's get it up. All right? Love.